Like the background.
That's fucking awesome.
Alexa Gold on the beat, Pharaoh on the bass, and the voice. Check it, yeah. I may never pop the top of the bottle off or spend time dropping opulent monologues. Any L I take is a lesson, not a loss. But I slay puppet masters like killing Marty Croft, freeing slaves at all cost. Harriet for hire, black Vangelis riding chariots of fire. Rappers swear they nice with their very rich attire, but anybody claiming that they're better is a liar. I spit vitamin verses for healthier bars. Negro League rap, Philadelphia stars. You think I'm in this to get wealthy, but no. I'm Tiger Woods good, hitting well below par. Standing on the green, dropping my bombast. Impacting like the Nagasaki bomb blast. Maintaining your connection, not Comcast. The fireman that stops the fire. Guy Montag, just as I multitask. See, I'm the spirit, the shadow, modern day crime fighter. I'm Hendrix and Kendrick, rock and roll rhyme writer. Laying in the cut, basking in the limelighter. An old timer, despite the fact that I'm young at heart and my black don't crack. My people came from a lane full of torture and pain, but I'm making damn sure that we won't go back. Look, no retreat, no surrender. Mental acumen of a million Mensa members. Standing at the center of the room, sending censures to pretenders. For faking the funk, I condemn ya. With that main source mannerism, Hulk strength mixed with Bruce Banner wisdom. I strategize and plan the mission so it don't end with a brother man imprisoned. I'm the future the elders say they can envision. In between the acts of violence and vandalism, every verse got a little of their phantoms in them, calling us out for somnambulism. So if you're the sleepwalking dead, letting the days go by like talking heads, going wild in the street like you off your meds, justifying the things that are often said. Consider this the antithesis. Push the boulder up the hill, I'm not Sisyphus. Making moves, but if I get stopped, I rock my own body cam to ensure witnesses. Watch it, so you get the proper optics. Trying to raise my boys the same way that my pops did. Making sure they know they got options in their masculinity's the opposite of toxic. The box is the cure for the toxins and boxes. Thinking man, out of the boxness. The kind that let the
It's only 20 seconds.
abolished. Here to make America live up to its promise.
Yeah, prices are like
So I'ma do what I can. Dynamic formulas and subtle plans. Send a message every hood can understand. John Lewis, Marvin Gaye, good trouble
But
man.
we've got Clinton here, and we got 357 saying he is a shit.
Part James Todd Smith.
Love that guy.
And even with all of this, sometimes it's hard to make it pop
Right.
with the populace.
Hey John,
Still I
good to
float
see you.
about the rhythm, unknown
You
light
know
by
this
Dr.
subject well.
Spectrum's power prism. The
I'm gonna share
algorithm
this on my
altruism. Ignore the knowledge if you want.
socials
You
really
just
quick,
can't doubt
just so
the
that
wisdom.
people who want to be here can be here.
Ignore the knowledge if you want.
Maybe I can get
You
my
just
boss
can't
to
doubt
come
the
step
wisdom.
in, say hi. She knows lots about this subject too.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th
Oh no,
century,
we don't know now. We don't know
the
anything.
world was
Shush up
being
now.
watched closely by intelligence.
That was our son, the voice of reason, pimp as he is. Gotta love that guy. Happy holidays, Clinton. It is really good to see you. Evening, John. So we're going to be talking about profiting from profit for and policing, and it's more than just at the police department level and at the city level. It goes all the way up. This is something that we know really, really well. From asset forfeiture on the federal level all the way down to the local level, which, I mean, that's where cops can pull you over and they can steal your money. And the best way that they do this, or the easiest way that they do this, is that they pull you over. And typically it's when you have an out-of-state plate, and they will want to search your vehicle, and you'll comply because you want to be a good guy. Happy Fuck the Cops Day. It's a thing. It's a thing, I promise. I'm not lying. So it's kind of interesting how they get away with it on a federal level. You would think that it is unconstitutional. And there are some arguments stating that it is unconstitutional. But the Fourth Amendment doesn't protect you from your things being seized per se. It protects them from being unjustly seized. If they have a reason to pull you over and stop you, they have a reason to take your shit. Yeah, but the thing is I mean, they passed that law, but okay, so my mom marched for 13 years with Martin Luther King. Okay, and she is dead now. She died back in September. But to the day she died, she would tell you it was all for nothing. But some words on some paper got some changed around, but the same shit still happened. You know, I grew up being highly exposed to the negative light of police because of my mom. Hey, Chuck Derby, good to see you. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Hey, Too Tall, good to see you. Freddie, Kiko, it's good to see you. So they can search you and they can seize your property literally for no reason other than their suspicion. If they think that $1,000 is too much for you to have in your pocket, so it must be drug money, they're going to seize it. They are going to contact their local district attorney, and they're going to say, hey, this person has this much money. I'm going to seize it. Let's see about how we can, handle this. And it is once they seize, especially your cash, it is very hard to get it back. Very hard. There is a man right now who didn't trust the banks and was actually quite wealthy. Didn't live like he was wealthy, but he was quite wealthy. And he was stashing his money in a storage unit. He had that much. He needed a storage unit for it. Like millions of dollars in a fucking storage unit. Let me say that one more time. Millions of dollars in a storage unit. And they seized every single bit of it. They weren't even there searching his shit in his area, but dogs will hit on money too. And the dogs could smell something in there. And so because they had a search warrant for the entire property, not just those units, they went ahead and busted into this man's unit. And they took all of his money, and they've had it for 10 years, maybe longer.
Oh my God.
Every dime he had was in that storage unit, and it's disgusting. But, they use that also, the forfeit forfeiture thing, to keep poor people poor. It's like in Washington State, there is now a law that's been passed where if you lost your license because you couldn't pay, you can now get your license back, and you don't have to go through any bullshit class. You don't have to go through and pay them a bunch of money. Just the $75 for a renewal on your license, and you've got your license back. There are 7, I think, other states that are doing this right now, and there's a few others that are following. Oh, independent left. This is sweet.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, I'm honored here to just learn about this from Noli D, because she's the expert on all of this stuff. Not the only expert, but one of them.
I know some stuff.
She knows some stuff.
I know some stuff. I've experienced some stuff, and I've helped people battle some stuff. Oh, let's see. I don't think this Eric is... Wait, Eric Elliott. Too Tall, why are you not modded? If you are not modded, please say something so I can help you protect your freedom of speech. I am a big believer in that. Now, I won't take no bullshit either. Like, if you're going to be a racist prick, I'm going to fucking boot your ass. But, I think as far as speaking from your experience without being an asshole, say what you need to say, no matter how horrible it is. But you don't need to call people out of their names, period. Except for I get to, because I'm special, because you guys are assholes. Oh my goodness, bless your heart. Good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. Much love to you too, Eric. Let's see. Okay. So let's see, where was I? Asset forfeiture. How they were getting away with it. That it is not against our constitutional rights, even though it totally should be.
That's crazy. I this is random, but like I found one time I found a bag like outside on the sidewalk. All of my stories are probably going to be random.
We love random here. You have no idea. We love random here because we all have little ADD in us.
Yeah, because like I don't really have like expertise to contribute on this stuff, but I have randomness. So I found a bag, and inside there was like a wallet with some money, and then there was some kind of like restraining order. Like it looked like someone that like some kind of like domestic violence restraining order or something. And I was like, holy shit, this woman really needs her money. And it had like her ID and like her kid's ID and like some like $300 or something. And I thought that like I decided that I would be a good Samaritan and like go to the police and drop her stuff off, right? Because I couldn't find this woman. I like tried to find her on Facebook. And then I dropped it off and they said like that the woman was coming, but she never came. And I really think they just took the money.
Oh,
like this like poor woman that like had a restraining order in her bag. It was probably like her last $300 to like leave her home.
That's horrid.
And after that, I was like, I'm never returning someone's money again. Like, I'll just like try to find them. If I don't, I'll like give it to somebody else. Like,
no, for real, yeah, pass it. Like give it to somebody else who needs it really bad. Let it bless somebody else, because yeah. There is a young man. He is kind of a do-gooder in the A1 community. He lives back east somewhere, I think in New York State, actually. And he videotaped him and his cousin or somebody, some young kid, going up to this house and knocking on the door. And the woman that answered the door was rude as shit. Just did not like, I don't have time for you. What do you want? What are you selling? I don't want it. And he's like, well, you're the person who lost his wallet lives at this address, and I just wanted to return it to him. She felt like an asshole, let me tell you. You could tell it. It's like, oh my God. But I think that, you know, if you can't do the right thing, do the next right thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, what can you do?
Oh my God, Desert, stop it. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. People, some people really love me. They love me too much. So,
I like that comment. I'd rather be a slave to Noli D than the system.
I would be a terrible slave driver because look at me when I mod for people. I don't give a fuck. I have not the time to fucking boot you for saying something dumb when, you know, you're just going to get a bunch of people attacking you. Hey, Razzle. MutualAidHub.org. Awesome. Thank you. I agree with that. So this mutual aid hub, like what's, actually, Razzle, if you want to, hey, Mexican long hair. Razzle, would you want to come up and like actually talk about that just a little bit? I know that some of us are getting a little worn out on the subject, but there are a lot of us who still don't understand what mutual aid is. And I know nothing about this website you just shared. But it's up to you if you want to come up or not. Somebody's messaging me. Who the hell is it? This is my work phone. My work phone goes off. I have to like look. Oh, it's nobody. Oh, I love you too. Oh my God, you guys, stop. Okay, so let me know if you want to come up and just explain what that site is and what you can do on it. That'd be cool. Oh, okay. So this site allows you to find local grassroots organizations that are providing fridges in food deserts. Nice. there's nothing here that you would find that would, well, maybe some files that I probably shouldn't have, but they're the ones who were dumb enough to give them to me. So, update on my local FOIA request for financial records from my city. I'm still getting cock-blocked on it. 4 months now, guys. Seem a little suspicious? Tom Zebra is not an idiot. He's an adorable idiot. And we love him. Oh, wow. This is actually, I haven't had a troll here at lately. It's been a while. So, troll, do you want me to mod you so that you don't get blocked? Because you do have the right to speak your opinion. And I will.
Like trolls are worse on Twitter because trolls don't have the patience to listen to your stream. Like no one trolls don't have patience, so
some of them do, and they will hear you out, and they will bring a good argument. Some of them will bring a good argument. There's this woman named Morty, and she is in England, I think, but she knows our laws forwards and fucking backwards for some goddamn reason, and it's quite infuriating to argue with her. I was supposed to debate her on the Modern Day Debate channel. I just had a debate there like a few weeks ago. But the person was talking about, more feelings than law. And I was just like, well, I'm coming at it from a legal standpoint. And yeah, there's a right to do it. And there is a responsibility to record the police every time you see them. And it's because they're killing people. So I take
what if you're driving, like a lot of times I'm just driving and I don't want to stop because I'm like driving. But like I see the cops pulling someone over. You know what I mean?
You should totally stop and record, I think. But have I drove on by? Yeah, on my way to the airport and on my way to work and on my way to pick up my kids, because I don't always have time for that. I think that especially if you have children, you kind of have no business cop watching. You kind of have no business doing the First Amendment auditing thing, which I'm not sure if you're aware of what that is. Do you know what First Amendment auditing is? Because if not, I'd be happy to. Okay, so First Amendment auditing is people practicing their right to not a problem.
It's when they read you your rights, like you're supposed to.
No, it's where you are you're practicing your right to record public officials in their in the course of their duties. Okay, so anybody working for the government, anybody who collects a paycheck that has a government seal on it, whether it is city, state, or federal, it does not matter. You have the right to record them while they are on the job. There is case law that says so, and there is the Constitution that says so. It is part of your right to free press.
Weren't they like trying to take that away, like, or make it illegal to record?
Several states have made it illegal, and it is against not only the country's constitution, but those specific states' constitutions. It's against them. It's like, are you kidding me? Down there in Florida, that woman got arrested for filming the cops when they were arresting her son. And the church is stuck. And it doesn't make sense to me on how the judge who made that call was not immediately yanked off the fucking stand because he broke the law. I don't get why this thing keeps going off. Oh no, there's nothing there. So that judge broke the law. There is a thing called a bench book. Every single judicial court system has a bench book. These are the rules and the laws of which the judge is supposed to follow by the word or letter of the law. Anna Cat, good to see you. So when the judges don't follow this letter of the law, they are supposed to be pulled off the damn stand. they're supposed to be suspended at the very least. They should be removed from their position, period, and taken off the bench and never allowed to be practice law at all. Because, in my opinion, if you know the law that well that you are a judge, you specifically should have no immunity whatsoever. None. Yes, Clinton, that is the one I'm talking about. You are correct. Charlie Brown's Rebellion, good to see you. Blibbits, good to see you. Always a pleasure. So they use all this crap. They use the war on drugs to do the civil forfeiture. They will use any excuse when they pull you over if they think that $1,000 is too much money for you to have because you're driving a hoopty. They take it and they send you on your way with a receipt. But that receipt does you no good. It makes it. I mean, it's
Sorry,
okay.
I'm just like
The
looking
state versus $750. Have you ever seen some crazy ass bullshit like that? You got babies upstairs or?
No, I misplaced my wallet and I just remembered it. Sorry for I was just like distracting myself with some whatever.
ADD moment?
I have problems keeping track of my own things and then I remember in the middle of streams.
All of this back here, art supplies and shit for my paintings. And
Yeah.
like, wait, I gotta go over here see what I'm doing in my. That's some of my artwork right on the wall.
It is really horrifying to see all of this like these like forfeiture, like that the fact that they can just take whatever they want. That's really messed up.
Yeah, it is complete bullshit. And the thing is the counties will support it. There was a sheriff, I think it was in Florida too. Goddamn Florida. Maybe it was Tennessee, who was literally doing the same thing that a few counties do here for the meals for their prisoners, and feeding them like a boiled egg and a piece of fruit for breakfast every morning, and feeding them like just carb loaded fucked up meals with no real vitamins or mineral. Like a dietitian's never walked in there and said, "Hey, this is how you keep people alive." And if you have diabetes, forget about it. You're gonna die if you go to this jail. Well, he was making the meals as cheap as possible so that he could pocket the money, and he was pocketing like $200 and some $1,000 every year from the food budget for the jail because of how he was feeding the people in the jail.
That's horrible.
Definitely Tennessee. Okay. At least it wasn't Florida this time. Oh, God. Poor Florida, dude. I feel so bad for that fucking state. I don't know how the people, like, there's so many, like, rebels down there. But they're all so far up the government's ass. It's like, how do you consider yourself a rebel if you are sucking your governor's dick? I just don't get it.
I think it's like a rebel. Like I had a friend in college who was like a super Republican and he thought he was such a rebel. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. And then I met his parents. His parents were like huge hippies, like the biggest hippies I've ever seen. I think he just like, he rebelled against his parents. And then he just like extrapolated that to everyone else. Like, oh, like I'm rebellious. He was rebellious. Like, he was rebellious towards his parents, not towards the government, you know.
Wow, Desert Goat just asked me, Noli D, did you hear about the female officer who beat a pregnant woman in handcuffs, then admitted to doing it again minutes after the beatdown? No, I had not heard about that. There is something I did hear about, a truck driver who was 26 years old, whose brakes went out, and he killed 4 people in Colorado, and they sentenced him to 110 fucking years.
Yeah.
110 years, 26-year-old kid who probably just got his damn CDL. And his brakes went out on his truck and killed 4 people. I don't see where the crime is there to even charge him. But I don't know. I know that the truck drivers are supposed to do a pre-trip check. I'm not sure if they're supposed to do one every time they stop or not, but I know they're supposed to do one before they leave on their trips. And anything can happen over the course of hundreds or thousands of fucking miles. I don't think that man belongs in prison. I really don't. Trust me, he's in one all on his own. But I also think that his ethnic background has something to do with why he got that time. Because there was a woman in Colorado who killed 4 people drinking and driving, and she got 10 years. But she was a white woman. So, yeah, no, go figure. Oh, now here. Oh, geez. Oh, Jesus. So the bitch is going to get away with it. Texas is horrible. Don't ever go to Texas. Especially if you're thinking you're going to go there and protest. Just don't do it. Arizona's another one. Just don't do it. Just move. I recommend everybody to move, who lives in those states to just move. You don't need to be there. Oh my God. So our son is... The lovely music we were enjoying at the beginning of the stream, and he's messaging me and needs me to do some work for him. Okay.
Yeah, that story with the trucker, it was like also like the company had already closed or something, so they kind of pinned the charges on him because like there was like no company to take liability for it, basically.
Okay, so you know what? If a business is considered a fucking person and they can donate money to a political party and that money is their freedom of speech, then goddamn it, whoever's running that shit, I don't care if it's closed down or not, they should be held responsible. That's bullshit.
Corporations are people.
Yeah, corporations are people and money is free speech. But Eric Brandt goes to prison for hopes and prayers and thoughts and wishes for 12 years. Go fucking figure. We've got a lot of people locked up right now. A lot of people. It should be mine. So saith Noli.
You know, like they're actually like building 4 new jails in New York, and it's stupid because like before the pandemic, there was like, you know, like activists and stuff, and they were all like, no new jails, and there was like a campaign called Close Rikers, and then the Rikers Rikers is really fucked up. You know, there was like all of these cases like Khalif Browder, like the whole backpack thing, how they stole. He stole somebody's backpack or something, and then he went to jail, but he couldn't pay the bail. And then he like ended up staying in jail for a long time, and then he got depressed, and then he killed himself. It was like the tragic story of Khalif Browder. And then like, you know, there were like a lot of cases like that were really fucked up. So they were like Close Rikers. They had this campaign to close Rikers. And then the real estate developers was like, oh, like we should hop on this, Close Rikers, because like Rikers is like really nice because it's like its own island, so we can like turn it into like Governor's Island and have like a part of New York that's like has like good real estate, and you can like look over the river, and like, yes, let's close Rikers. So like the real estate developers hopped on. So now like, because like it, you know, like they basically took like an idea that the activists had, and they were like, okay, let's do it. Like, so they like pressured, you know, de Blasio, and like de Blasio was like kind of on his way out of office, and he was like, oh, you know, now that the real estate developers support it, let's close Rikers. So like, so like that's like the long-term plan is to like build 4 new jails in like very congested parts of New York City. Like one of them is going to be like in Brooklyn, like, I don't know, like by a really crowded area. And the idea is that like, oh, this is like the way they're selling it is like, this is going to be for like the human rights of prisoners, because previously like if you didn't have enough money, you had like no way to get to Rikers because it's like kind of an island. You have to drive there. A lot of like the relatives of people that are Rikers, like, you know, not all of them have cars, whatever. So, um, uh, you know, it was like they were like they're acting like it's good for the public, except if you live in one of the other boroughs, you might you might not necessarily get sent to the jail in your borough because like you know, you might get sent to Staten Island or Brooklyn, depending on wherever there's spots available. So it's not even like it's that much more accessible for your family to visit you, or, you know, like, and then it's just like they're going to put them in the most crowded parts of the city. And they were having trouble hiring because, like, I used to be a drafter. And then I got really tired because, like I get laid off after every recession. Finally, I like just gave up. Like I just like I can't take this anymore. And then like one of the biggest like booms, like the things that where you'll always have work is like fucked up is like prisons because they're always building prisons. You know, like and like they fucked up the housing market and like but like they're building the prisons, so they were like, oh, you know, like don't worry, there's lots of work right now in prisons. And I just got so depressed about it. I was like, I don't know.
It is depressing. And, you know, if you take a look at the death records that come in, like you can get online and you can look up almost any state, the deaths that happen in prisons and the death certificates, cause of death. Most of them are, cause of death is unknown or natural causes, which is not something they're allowed to use anymore. They haven't been allowed to use it since the fucking 80s. But they're still using it in the prisons to say this is how this person died. But the unknown cause of death is, I mean, that's bullshit. An autopsy, a general autopsy is going to tell you how somebody died. And when somebody's body parts are found fucking strung all over the goddamn fucking prison, it's obvious there was some fucking foul play going on there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
It's what's going on inside of the prisons in this country, especially the men's prisons. The women's prisons too, but the one that I went to, dude, it really wasn't that bad. There was this one woman there who did something really super fucked up, but she was in max, and so I didn't have to fuck with her. You know, like I just heard about her. I didn't have to see her, nothing, and I'm glad I didn't. But I
mean, I feel like a lot of the women in prison are just like kind of largely unlucky women.
A lot of them are in there for prostitution, drugs,
or like maybe stealing,
property,
credit card fraud. You know, like
I was in prison with a midget, for God's sakes. I mean, and she was like a really tiny one too. And
lots of immigrants, people that just get charged for something like not carding someone at a bar, like stupid things, you know.
Go ahead. I'm doing this to Lucky. Lucky, this is for you. My bad.
Driving without a license, like a lot of immigrants have that here before they pass like the driver license law for immigrants, because like now they can have a license, but before that, like it was like a lot of them just went to jail for driving without a license.
Whose birthday was it, Lucky? And can I have your permission to show this? Because this is really cute.
Yeah.
You should let us show this. We want to see cute things. We like cute things.
Yeah, because like Noli's stories are like traumatic. So we need to balance them with pictures of bunnies or something.
Right? My daughter put her horse to sleep singing to it like a couple of weeks ago. It was really fucking cute. I got a picture of the horse laying on the ground with his nose like stretched out towards her, and he's sound fucking asleep, dude. It's really cute. Leo Watcher, no, you're going to bed? What? You're a night owl. Quit being a baby. Is it because you missed your dog? You can have mine. Oh, show it. Okay. So let's see. That right there is Lucky and her daughter and her honey bear. And look, her hair is so fucking. This girl is gorgeous, and all I can say is, look out, world, because here she comes. She's coming. She is bombing her ass through high school right now. Look out. Oh, really? For Substack today, huh?
Yeah, I'm not a writer, but there was like one subject I was like, oh, I'm going to write about this because I feel like people are getting it wrong. You know, when you get like obsessive about a topic?
Oh, yeah, I'm real bad about that.
So I was like, I'm going to write something. Then I remembered I don't really like writing anymore. Like, I don't even enjoy it.
I used to really enjoy it too, but I didn't enjoy writing about, shit that was actually going on. I like to get lost in my head, and I like fantasy world. And I have a couple of books that are really fucking might be worth a couple of bucks, but that's all they'd be worth is a couple of bucks because nobody reads anymore. These are really fucking cute. Your animals are just dumb. Yeah, wait, this is the video. Ready? This dog plays the drums. Have you guys seen this dog play the drums? If you haven't seen this dog play the drums, you need to go over to Lucky Burrito's channel and go and check out her dog playing the fucking drums because it's badass.
Have you seen that guy that narrates animal videos? His name is like Oz or something. He's like Australian.
You mean Z Frank? That's the only one I know of.
Yeah, he did a video on horses too. Like apparently, I mean, I don't know because I'm far from nature. But horses are extremely skittish, and there was like a bunny in the middle of the road. He has a video. It's like a bunny in the middle of the road, and they won't walk past it. They're like, what is that? And they were scared and they turned back. It was like two huge horses. Because of this bunny.
Hi, Big Tim. It's good to see you. It's been a while. Hey, Lion One. I'm glad you can join us. Oh, my God. Dude, yes. Oh, Clash in Canada. It is always a pleasure to see you, and you know why. And Indie News, you need to be modded. What the hell? Why don't you say something? These fuckers will fucking time you out just to be a dick. I have some real assholes that come over here. I love them. I love those assholes, but they're assholes. If they don't like you or they don't know you, they will just time you out and put you in the rainbow room for no reason. So I try to just keep everybody modded. That way everybody can post links if that's what they need to do. And because, there's emergencies and shit that happen. And everybody can keep their freedom of speech.
Like Noli, maybe I can ask you since you seem super knowledgeable about this.
That's a real person. Why did you guys do that? Or did I do that? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I was trying to mod you. It's a real person. Be nice. Sorry, go ahead.
So, theoretical question, do you recommend, donating to bail funds and stuff, or do you think that just, feeds the police budget?
As long as you know that person is going to go to court and get those funds back, whether you expect the money to be given back to you or not, I think that protecting the people and their families and their jobs, I think that I firmly believe in bail funds, and I donate. There was somebody who got arrested yesterday morning who I don't even like. I don't like the man, the boy, the fucking jackass. I don't like him. He rubs me the wrong way, and I just want to slap the fuck out of him. But he went to jail, and I showed up, and I donated money, and I fucking helped inform people as to what was going on, because the reason he was arrested was bullshit. This dude does not break the law. He knows the law inside and out. He's obsessive compulsive about it. It's annoying. And he would never, ever dare break the law. He just wouldn't. Yes, Justin. I'm talking about Justin. And, just because I don't like him doesn't mean that I'm not going to be there for him when he is been done wrong, because it's not us against each other. It's us against them. I'm a firm believer in that. Never, ever, ever. I mean, San Joaquin, if he needed help, and you guys know I can't stand that motherfucker, I would fucking be there.
Yeah.
Unless he deserved to be arrested, then I would be like, haha, bye, bitch. But, you know.
Yeah.
But it is not us. We can't be against each other. You know, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be friendly. We don't have to be nice. We don't even have to fucking be polite. But when one of us goes down for some shit that wasn't even a crime, we need to be there to back each other up. And if all you've got is $2 to donate that $2 because we raised $1 million fucking $2 at a fucking time to get Josh out of fucking jail. And if we can do that in a matter of a couple of weeks, we can fucking do anything. $2.
His bail was $1 million?
$1 million fucking dollars.
Why did they set it that high?
Because they want him fucking gone. He has been a thorn in their side from day one, and he's connected to God damn it, what's his name? I don't know why, but my brain's going to Lavoie, and that's not, you know, yeah, they were there, but good night, Leo Watcher. I love you, honey. Mwah.
It's really messed up that when there's like a case like this, they set the bail super high to profit off of people's generosity. Essentially, like, because, you know, or like, you know, like, especially if like the person's high profile, or like it's like a high profile, like visible case. You know, they probably do that on purpose, like knowing that there's crowdfunding and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
that's literally like so they set the bail really high to begin with, like at $100,000, which is ridiculous because he's never ran, he's never not shown up to court, he's always done what he's supposed to do, and they set the bail really fucking high on him anyway, and it's fucking bullshit, complete bullshit.
That's what, like, because like I wonder, and I know this is like really messed up what I'm gonna say, and like I wouldn't want anyone to like, you know, rot in jail. But like, I wonder if there's any like strategy to like tamp down on that, you know, like maybe make it wait out like a few days or something.
Well, so that
like they lower it, like thinking at least that like what?
Many of them have to wait several days because
they have to wait anyway. Yeah.
It takes several days to get the money together, but quite often, especially with cop watchers and with First Amendment auditors, they go to jail and the cops are going to do everything they can to make it a no bond offense, so that they have to sit there over the weekend at least.
Right.
The cops in South Carolina beat the living daylights out of a blind veteran, gave him a brain bleed because he was standing up for his rights, but not aggressively. He's very polite, very like even killed talking kind of person. But he has a traumatic brain injury already, and so when he speaks with you, he will repeat what you said back to you in his own words to be clear that he understands and fully grasps what it is that you're saying. And so this is what he was doing with these cops, and it pissed them off, and they ended up knocking the fucking daylights out of him, man. And he could have died. They left him unconscious out in front of the fucking police department. Left him there. It's just disgusting. And South Carolina has this stupid fucking rule to where you can't just FOIA fucking public information. You have to go to a judge and get a permission slip to get it. And there's a few states like that, and that is unconstitutional. Fucking 100% unconstitutional. I don't understand how the hell states are allowed to do that, other than the fact that, you know, somewhere along the lines they said, okay, well, states can have, you know, priority over their laws within their state, but they still got to follow these ones over here, which are, you know, civil rights and constitutional rights. And supposedly human rights, but you know, we don't give a fuck about human rights, not in this country. And so somehow there's like this sfucking loophole of where the federal government or the state government or the city government can get away with some fucking seriously shiesty fucking bullshit. High bail is against the Constitution under the 8th Amendment. is cruel and unusual punishment, and you cannot hold somebody based on monetary means of which they cannot afford to bail out. I mean, it's I can pull it up to read it verbatim, but I know that is what it says, and that is what it fucking means, you know. Banana Republic, yeah, that's right. Less hassle for them with less accountability. Exactly. My county, there is one cop car in the entire county that has a dash cam and is facing backwards for some reason. It's facing the back of the fucking vehicle. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's mounted behind the back seat. It's like a SUV or whatever, and it's facing backwards, and you can't really see it. It's like, what? Why do you even have it? What the fuck?
If a cop is coming towards you from the back,
Right?
maybe
I've
it's
never seen
useful.
that
I don't
before.
know. The Constitution is seeming more and more like the writing on the walls. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, debtor prisons, and you know, our prisons have become, and I think that's another reason why that guy got 100 and some years. Somebody in the feed said that it was because he didn't use the runaway
ramp.
the runaway thing. But that, okay, so he's 26 years old and he's panicking. If a cop panics and kills somebody because they have a fucking cell phone in their hand, and they can get away with that. Tell me how this man driving a fucking vehicle that weighs several thousands of pounds doesn't panic and you know, fucking not go up the runaway fucking road. And I'm sorry, but I think I've seen maybe 10 of those in my state, and they're all up on mountains. And they're, you know, ever so often fucking, if you're going down the mountain, there'll be a runaway fucking lane that you can take. But that dude didn't maliciously kill anybody. Oh, Merry fuckmas to you too, man. Come on, you see Christmas tree around here? No, I don't celebrate your white holidays. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to hell. Sam, holy shit, where have you been? It is good to see you. Oh, Radioactive Waves, good to see you too. Notice you. We got some decent people in here. There's only 14 in here now, but we had as much as 28. When big things are going on, and I'm giving out information, I get several people in here, and usually by the end of tomorrow there'll be 300 or 400 views on here, and that's about all I get. But
you have me now, so it will not be an informational session.
oh no, oh my god, I was drunk as shit on here the other night, and then Indy has to fucking go and say something publicly so that I couldn't delete it or like put it in private. I was like, now if I move it, people are gonna be like, what are you hiding shit for? So I left it. So if you guys want to see me drunk, go see my last live feed. I was drunk as fuck.
You know what the cops do in New York a lot? Like, they'll like, you know how like they hide behind bushes and stuff, and then just like pop out like, for like parking violations. Well, they do that, but like on the subway, they'll like hide, right? And then they'll like jump out, you know, like to like catch people that aren't like doing the turnstile or whatever. But sometimes like the turnstiles are like, they're not working, and they know they're not working, but instead of fixing them, they'll like hide anyway, and then like wait for someone to like go into the door, and then they'll like jump out. It's so stupid. Like they do all of these like stupid maneuvers, and then like they'll do that too with like the bus. Like sometimes like the little machine. I know people that have gone to jail just because like of the stupid bus thing. Like they'll like have a malfunctioning machine or something, and then they'll like, you know, like people will just be like, oh, whatever, I won't pay today. And you know, like just the most trivial of reasons. I hate stuff like that because it's like, you know, I mean, I feel like I mean, all of the okay, like when you look at the more brutal stuff, it's obviously horrible. But like if we talked more about like the stupid stuff, I feel like
At least we can laugh at it a little bit.
well, yeah, I feel like yeah, I like because like most people have had an experience like that. That's just like it's so clear how corrupt they are and how they're kind of there to make a buck and they're kind of like or like waste time or not solve real crimes because if you're like standing like waiting to jump out behind a turnstile in order to like catch someone that like couldn't go through the machine, this is not serious police work.
I don't even think it's police work. In like England, they have these community officers, and in small towns they have them too. Like here they have them. We have a few old people that like to drive around and say, "Stay out of that yard! Get off that lawn! God damn it!" Those people. That's like something for them to do. And then maybe less people would get shot to death inside of a fucking subway because they told the cop to fuck off.
Yeah. And then like the way they monitor small businesses too, like I used to like we had a family business and we were like located near a toy store and like the toy store would have like toys outside so that people like to sell them. And like the cops would spend so much time like ticketing them and like making them move their toys because it was like a hazard or something for them to like walk through the toy. It was just like mind your fucking business.
2% of crimes, and of that 2%, 10% are fucking wrongly convicted fucking innocent people. So there's like I can't remember how many million are actually in jails or prisons right now, but the amount of people that are in prison and usually for murder, the crimes that they solve the most is murder. So if you're gonna be a victim of a crime and you want it solved, make sure they kill you. But those are the ones that they get the most. So you got to figure these people are in prison. Innocent people are in prison for fucking life, or they've got a death sentence. My brother, he is in prison for fucking life. He's been there since 1986. And my stepmom has phone records of him calling supposedly on day 2 that he was in this woman's attic from 3 states away. He was a black kid driving through Texas the wrong fucking decade. That's what fucking happened, and I'm certain of it. He was easy to fucking blame. She was having an affair. Him and his friend hid inside this person's attic for 3 days and 3 nights. There was 2 large dogs, 3 kids, a husband, and a wife living in that house, and they never noticed. Yeah, right. She was fucking either the sheriff's son or the fire chief's son, one of the two. And she broke it off just not too long before that happened to her. And she didn't die. He went to prison for aggravated robbery. Okay. And he's there until the day he dies. I don't even remember what he fucking looks like. That's how
What's aggravated robbery?
Where you rob somebody with aggravating circumstances where you use a weapon on them of some kind or physical violence on them of some kind. You didn't just rob them, you beat them too.
And that's like a life sentence.
Yeah, apparently.
And someone that kills 4 people is like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lucky you got it. I don't celebrate Christmas. I'd be happy to be there. Somebody else said something to me, and yeah, Indy, don't even worry about it. Don't delete that tweet. It's been up for like several days now, and anyone who's gonna see it that wants to use it against me, somebody did. They did share it, like they shared it on their share thing on YouTube.
Oh my God, look at this comment.
I went over and I left a comment in their shit, and I'm just like, yeah, you must be related to me. You fucking would pick this one to share. Fuck you.
The comment. It says, my father was murdered the day after Christmas. When I was little, the killer served less time than people behind bars for marijuana.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like my dad was like a police brutality victim, and so were my godparents. Like it happened in another country, but like all countries are fucked up in this way. And like the interesting thing is like the American military or whatever, they've like, like trained the police of other countries and like all of these torture tactics. And they and people don't know why it's like so fucked up now, and it's because they've trained like other countries' police, and then like those police, and that's why there's like so much stuff like about the police in Israel and stuff. They come back, like the people that go to the military, they do these like fucked up torture techniques on like people in other countries, and then they come back and they do that stuff to like our own citizens. So it's not like, it's not like you can just like go invade other countries like everywhere in the world, and like you're not gonna have like some sort of like, it's like this like crazy kind of like, I don't think people are totally aware of it, but it's
once again, I'm sorry. I mean, like, okay, so my cousin, he is in his 21st year or 23rd year, whatever year it is where they like literally kick you out. He's getting kicked out of the military here soon because they won't keep you beyond like either 21 or 23 years. I think it's 23. And I love him to death, but him and I are on opposite sides of the playing field when it comes to our belief system in the military and in the government and in this country as a whole. And it breaks my heart because we were best friends when we were kids. Like,
they've even like done pictures. Like there was like a picture that was like going around on Facebook. I don't remember where I saw it. Where it was like, how that thing that they do here where it's like they put a knee on your neck. How George Floyd died, like they were like sitting on him. Like, the position I'm talking about.
Yes.
And then they showed another picture. It was like an Israeli cop doing the same thing to an Arab. And then it was like the same exact position in Chile somewhere. It was like three completely different countries, and it's because they're all trained by the same people. Like there's like, these are like international like they're like international like training. They like I don't know where the training center is. Like I'm not an expert on this, but like there's been like repetitive like photographs of like cops like using the same techniques in like very different countries, very different places, like very different situations. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not an expert on this or anything, but like,
so military police will train. Like if we go and invade somewhere, we go and have a military action of some kind in another country. Our military police are the ones who train other civilians to become police officers in their country, and they train them to do that shit. And it's funny. So, like here in the States, you go to the police academy, they train you not to do that shit. But then then you do your first year, which your first full year on the job is considered on the job training. So you have a partner the entire time. You have a mentor who is training you for a solid fucking year. And they are teaching you how to behave, how to treat people, and how to physically disable people. And if you don't go along to get along, you're either going to get fired, you're going to get framed, or you're going to end up dead. Every good cop who has rolled, who has whistleblown, you don't hear about them no more, do you? They've done disappeared. They're gone. There's one specifically down in California. They arrested him for whistleblowing. That's just, that's illegal as fuck. And you think that another government agency like State Patrol would have stepped in and said, no, sorry about your luck, Sheriff's Department. You're not going to do this. But, LASD is a fucking gang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that it's like that in New York, too. As far as, well, I've heard some stories from a few people who I wish I could get them to come on Police Accountability Report, but because of their of like career choice. They can't. I do have one friend who is retiring soon, and she will be coming out with a full fucking tell-all about her experience of 20-some years in the police department. So that'll be a really nice thing to have. But the sad thing about it is that she's willing to cover her own ass and make sure that she's taken care of. And I get taking care of yourself first. But then there's just, morals and shit, right and wrong, period. And I think that if I were her, I would have come out 20 years ago when she fucking first noticed weird shit. This woman has been through hell. She has been assaulted in ways that are seriously fucked up by fellow officers. And the trauma that she's going to have to deal with when she finally fucking retires, because she hasn't dealt with it yet. And you can tell she hasn't. It's going to be hard. And I do call her my friend. She is my friend. And I care about her very much. And I worry about her writing this book and doing this tell-all, because I'm worried about what it's, digging all of it up, and her having to face what happened to her and all the shit that she witnessed and all the things that she took part in. It's going to fuck with her head. And I don't want to see that happen to her either, She's a human being. I care about her. I can't help it. I have a good-for-nothing brother-in-law who's a fucking cop here in my town, and he's not welcome on my property. He's not, whether he is in uniform or not, I don't care. You're a fucking cop. Get the fuck out of here. The cops are dirt. I don't care. The good cops, even, there's no such thing as a good cop. Because the good cop is the one who doesn't beat you, but they don't stop the bad cop from beating you either. And they don't report him either.
Yeah, because they're afraid they'll get fired. And evidence backs that up, right?
And my sister, who is a teacher here in, just a couple towns over, she gave me the argument of, they've worked all those years, what about the retirement? And I'm just like, really? You're worried about it destroying the cops' life? What about the lives that the cops have destroyed? Lives, plural. So you got to figure the person that they arrested wrongfully, that they abused wrongfully, and are now going to accuse of a greater crime because they want to cover their own ass fucking from pulling some shit and beating somebody up. What about that life that they destroyed? What about the family that they broke up? What about the house that they lost? What about the job that they lost? Doesn't that fucking matter too? Her and I are very fucking different people. Very different people. She is very far right-leaning. I am totally not fucking right or left-leaning. Even though many people think I'm a lefty. Many people think I'm a lefty. And I'm just like, no, sorry. I don't do Republican or Democrat because they don't look any different to me. They look the same. They're wearing different fucking jerseys. Whoop-de-doo. They're still playing for the same fucking team. Had a bad experience with sheriffs one time. My car died in freezing weather, and I went into a public building to warm up, and sheriffs laughed at me because my hands were literally freezing. Fucking, I don't doubt it, dude. That's fucked up. And hang on, I'm going to mod you. If I can see what the fuck I'm doing. I've got
I just kind of try to stay away, from. There was one time where it was unavoidable because it was I told you we had a small family business, and the cops had moved close. They were across the street, and we actually lost clients because people didn't want to they don't want to pass them.
Yeah, when people are that afraid, when the general public is that afraid of the cops, dude, so, it's no accident. It is no fucking accident that Native Americans are the top or highest fucking demographic of people that get attacked and are killed by police. Native Americans are top of the list. Okay, Native American women and girls, about 5,800 of them go missing every year, but only 120 of them make it onto a federal missing persons list. Tell me that's a mistake, a clerical error. I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. Not at all. And
yeah, I wanted to bring you on to complain about this, but then like I never did it, and I read that stuff about how like it has something to do with reservation law. Like they don't have like proper like the ability to like prosecute people that are outside the reservation or that are from
the
outside.
federal government does, and that's why the federal government is, like the federal government in the end has a say over that property. So like my mother's home, is on the res. We can't sell that house. We can't, like it's just a family home that, when one person that lives there dies, finally, the youngest generation that's around, they fucking move in and hopefully keep it up. And it's kind of how it works, but it's not our land. People say, oh, you've got the res, da 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 da. No, we fucking don't. We have an open air prison. That's what we fucking got. When we had the whole country at one point in time, there was millions of us. There's 3,000 of us now. What the fuck? I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
It's really fucked up.
It's really fucked up to have missing persons. But as far as missing persons, the federal government and even local law enforcement, the cities, because there's no reservations in any town. They're always outside of town, fucking BFE, 35 miles from fucking the nearest town, and it's a butthole sneeze and you miss it town. Even though I gotta say, the rainforest is gorgeous. It is fucking gorgeous, but still is.
I don't like have any experience with this, but I know, like I don't know if this is even possible, or I don't know, but like I feel like the Native American, I feel like it would be stronger here if they linked up more with like the Native Americans from other countries, because like there's like so many more Hispanic people that are like Native American, right?
Yep, they are. Hating people say that Mexicans are not natives. Yes, they fucking are.
And I remember one time I met like this lady. She was from Bolivia. You know how like Bolivia is the country with the most Native Americans in like the American continent. They're like 80% Native American or something. And they had like a kind of like international convention for Native Americans, and they invited like everyone, like representatives from like lots of different tribes from like Canada to Argentina. Anyway, that was kind of off topic, but
no, it's not. No, well, this whole conversation goes fucking. I have ADD, so you'll have to forgive me. One thing that pisses me off makes me think about something else that pisses me off. It makes me think about something else that pisses me off.
Yeah, but like here, it's weird. Like they don't have reservation over there because it's like these are like broad swaths of like where everyone's Native American or like half Native American. So it's like, yeah, like I feel like here it's just like the way they got pushed west, I guess. And then I don't know if like the area you live, it's like people that were originally from that area. But
my bad. I'm actually I'm typing to Keith here in the chat. My family are Salish, which is northwestern Washington, parts of Canada, parts of Oregon, pretty much. But we were massive. We were fucking massive. We were like probably the last ones to see white people in this country. But I know that Chief Seattle said that he He was certain that he had seen like the what's the nuts fucking doing their Northwest Passage fucking trek and shit. But we pretty much stayed out of the whole major battles. But they still, I don't know, dude. They got our numbers down from millions down to 3,000. So.
But like legally, what would it require? Like a change in the Constitution or something to like change the laws around the reservations?
Oh
so
no,
they
that
can,
has to do with treaties. Okay, so the thing is okay. So when you break a treaty, that's an act of war. That is a serious act of war. But the U.S. government has broken treaty after treaty after treaty. So the Mashpee people, and I think that
right.
Nikki actually probably would know more about this than me, even because she's from that area over there. But the Mashpee Wampanoag people, they were included in treaties, and they were. I mean, there's like legal documents, and there are federal and state documents going back to the beginning of this country about their people, and you know how big they were. It was like two big ass fucking tribes, millions of people,
right?
And they ended up somehow, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but they lost their reservation lands way back in like the 1700s. Well, they finally got them back in 2016 or 17 or something like that. And then Trump and his fucking Secretary of Interior goes and takes their land. Well, you want to know where their land was? Their land was right where the rich people like to fucking summer all the time. Fucking there on the East Coast. That fucking Janet Mattson, oh my God. I'm sorry. I love you, Janet. I love you. I love you. I love you. Damn it. Some damn harbor over there in I don't know, some really rich fucking areas. And they basically got their land fucking yanked out from underneath them again. After just getting it back after hundreds of years. Okay, these people were the first people that laid eyes. They were the ones who rescued fucking Christopher Columbus when he was lost at sea, okay? They are the ones who rescued him. Dumbasses. Should have let him all fucking drown. Sorry, guys. I love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of people that wish they could go back and just like warn everyone.
For real. It's fucking frustrating as fuck to think about, like, and how the genocide, not just fucking over, you know, the course of, you know, the French and Indian War and fucking going through the moving people into reservations and just all this fucking bullshit. But since then, I mean, alcohol, drugs, fucking putting the reservation so fucking far away from anything that the only thing that people had to rely on was nature around them. But then the county or the state would come in and demand that their children would go to school. And so you had to go to town and get a fucking job, but you're like 60 miles from fucking town and you don't own a fucking car. And there ain't no buses back then and shit. I mean, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And then people get mad because my people, we take one whale a year. One whale a year. We get to net part of the river. So fucking what? Trust and believe that barely keeps us alive. You know, and I don't even live on the res, so I don't fucking live off of any of that. I fucking live off res and I work. I always have. No way I would have lived on res when I was growing up. I was fucking a little savage to my dad's family, and I was, words I'm not teaching any of you, to my mom's family. You know, it was just like racism no matter fucking where I went, and it was something I didn't fully understand. Not until I got older, and then man, did it fucking hurt. I never, like, why can't you just love me? Fucking, why does it matter who my mom was? Or why does it matter who my dad is? Or how pale I am compared to my brother and sister? Or how fucking savage-like I am compared to my brother and sister. Because they were very, I don't know. I guess I was rambunctious or something. I don't fucking know. I really don't fucking know.
You were the trouble.
They hated my mom, and I look like my mom, just like a really pale version of her. And so they just fucking hated on me for that. I don't know. I don't have nothing to do with any of them really anymore. I don't. I have chosen family right here in this feed. Right here in the feed. I'm people who love me and respect me fucking for who I am and all my fucking faults and defects. And God bless them, because I don't know how they put up with my ass. I really don't. I'm glad that they do, though. It's weird how, you know, not so much for me since the pandemic, but like I went from being able-bodied to being in a wheelchair, and it made my world smaller, but the people in it are so spread apart. You know, global. I've got, hey, by the way, the 292 number, stop calling it. The woman who has my old number is going insane, you guys. Stop. 3,800 people have that phone number, and trust and believe they are all still trying to use it to call me.
How'd you get a 212 number?
292. It's 360. 292. Yeah, 360-292. So my new number is a 591 number, 360-591. So if you don't have it, contact me off of YouTube and I will give it to you. I am never posting that shit anywhere fucking public. Let me tell you what. Other than that, reach me on WhatsApp or WhatsApp's probably your best bet. Because I checked yesterday or day before yesterday, I have like 3,400 messages on my Facebook, and it was so overwhelming when I saw that number that I just closed it. Like, nope, not doing this. I can't. I'm sorry. So if you tried to reach me on Facebook recently, you're not going to get a reply because I can't open it. I can't do it. That freaked me out when I saw how many messages I had on there. I don't even know what the fuck went on. I know I've kind of been taking a hiatus, but holy shit. I'm sorry, whatever it was that I missed. God damn. So, but yeah, I'm on Twitter, but not a lot. I'd say WhatsApp and that fucking Instagram shit. Yeah, Instagram. Oh, I have something freaky to share with you guys. This is fucking not right. You saw that video, right? Yeah, you. I think you left a comment on it. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to show you guys a video of AJ walking the same way he walks every single night when he gets off work from, across the way and then, comes over this way. And something I asked him because I watched it happen live. I asked him, what the fuck was that? And he was like, what are you talking about? So I showed him the video. And he was like, there's nothing out there. And I'm like, well, bull fucking shit. There is something that fucking left you. And you got demons. You need to go away. Never come to my house again. But so I have the Wise Cam because of police harassment from 2 towns over. They come over here and they fuck with me because I have files on them and a video of them murdering somebody.
Do they ever go into your house?
The cops?
Yeah.
No. But they will come over here in their squad cars and drive by really fucking slow or sit outside my house until I go out there and do one of these. And
oh my God. I would be scared shitless.
They murder people. I am scared shitless all the fucking time. But B Squared has like a link to this so she can check on me anytime she wants and she can talk to me through the fucking camera, and it's really annoying. It scares me sometimes because I forget you can do that. And I'm like, who the fuck is me? My mom's ashes are sitting in my closet. I ain't sleeping in my bedroom, just so you know. They're in my bedroom closet. She's in my bedroom closet. She can have my room until she's out of here. That's her space now. And I don't know. It just fucking freaks me out. You guys will think I'm crazy, half the shit that I fucking believe, but it's because of what I've experienced. Where is that? The gallery. There we go. Events, Instagram, manual. Okay.
Well, yeah.
So you're getting sleepy.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I was just gonna bring up a random. Let me see.
You know what? I'll just
Wait, move your phone farther away. It actually works when you move it farther away from the camera and like don't zoom it as close.
Oh, I was going to just pull it up on
Oh yeah.
what do you call it, and share it that way. What do you call it? You know, the Twitter thing.
Yeah.
I really hate social media. You have no idea. It is so intrusive.
It's so toxic, but Twitter is worse than YouTube, like by far.
Oh yeah, I agree. Fucking people on Twitter are so mean. I've had people come after me, and I just come at them, you know, most of the time with polite logic, and I can typically that works for me. But I've even gotten some private apologies. Like they were so embarrassed they didn't want to apologize to me publicly about it because they didn't want the
street cred.
Yeah, their tweet cred,
their Twitter cred, not really street cred, like Twitter cred.
It's just weird. Like, what the fuck?
I'm actually like pretty easy on people because I feel like I used to have like keyboard warrior syndrome a little bit.
I think everybody goes through that phase a little.
Yeah. I kind of got over it. I'm like, okay, like, but I totally understand people that are in that phase. Because it's just like, sometimes you just like, it's just like an anonymous way to like unleash like, your frustration.
No, I fucking agree. It really is. It's so frustrating because these are people who, like, how the fuck are you still asleep? What is wrong with you? Okay, so right here, you guys, you can see him. You see that? That is not a fucking shadow. Everybody keeps telling that's a shadow or that's a dog. And no, it's fucking not. And the way that he's moving, this camera doesn't do this shit.
What is that?
This is AJ right here. And see, look at that. It didn't even like it, and it just took off running.
But is that edited?
No, it's not edited at all. All I did was cut it so that, you know, I cut the part out that was creepy. But look at this shit. I've never seen this camera fucking do this. It's a brand new fucking camera.
That looks like Return of the Zombies or something.
It does. It creeped me out. And I mean, I see all sorts of shit on this fucking thing. I could, oh, dude, I could not be okay. But you guys see this, right? You guys see this? You're seeing this? I'm not fucking crazy, right?
No. I feel like it was edited or something to like chop out.
I promise.
There, with like, what's with that, like,
that weird walk and shit? I don't know. Like, look at that. Like, he's possessed, you guys. I don't fucking know. Dude. Yeah, afraid of my mom. Definitely afraid of my mom. Always have been, always will be. Trust and believe. Well, you know, a native mama can whoop your fucking ass. It is painful.
It's a shadow.
That's totally not his fucking shadow that fucking runs away from him, because his shadow is with him fucking the whole time. It doesn't run away from you. That's not what shadows do. Fucking creepy, you guys. It's so fucking creepy. Oh my god. You see this?
I wish I had powers like that.
A shadow of what? A shadow of what? He said there was nothing out there. He would have noticed that. Yeah, exactly.
Does she have a limp?
No. Yeah, I know. It's fucking weird.
Maybe she was doing it on purpose to freak you out.
No. Never. It almost looks like, you know, there's like some, like, I don't know, crutches involved there or something, but no. This is so weird. What the fuck? Okay, I gotta shut it off. I can't watch it anymore. I live here. I salt my walls. I smudge in my house. I cleanse my house, and I salt my walls. When I wash my walls down, I wash them down like every 3 months or so because I smoke in the house. And I just add a bunch of salt to my fucking my cleaning water, and I salt my walls down while I'm washing them.
Mhm.
And I do what it is I've got to do to keep that shit out of my space. But every once in a while, when I'm a little late doing it, weird shit happens inside my house that I don't particularly like. Like I had like this, I had 2 bookends. They were real heavy marble bookends. And in between them were like my paper bags and stuff up on top of my refrigerator. And I was sitting, well, pretty much right where I am now. There was no windows open, no doors open, no fans going. I hear a weird noise in the kitchen a couple of times, and I'm thinking, what the fuck am I hearing? The dog's right there. And I go back to what I'm doing, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see bags fly across my kitchen. They didn't just fall. They fucking went flying all the way across my kitchen, like all the way across to the other wall. That's not falling. My sister's like, no, it's just something that fell. I'm like, Janet, you don't know. You need to shut up.
That's crazy. I don't have anything supernatural going on here, as far as I know. Maybe
That's
I'm
weird
just like
because
not
you know
aware.
you're in such an old fucking city.
Maybe
Like,
the ghosts of all of the people that died in this apartment.
when I go to Philly, dude, I can feel it heavy in Philly. It's fucking heavy. It is heavy. It is almost stifling in certain areas. And like it's not like I know what happened there. I can just feel it. It's like like the air gets thick and it's harder to breathe. And I know there's something weird going on.
I have a friend that lives in Alexandria, Virginia, and it's like those houses are really old. It's like they're like from the 1700s. I feel like I felt it there. I was like, feels funny. I mean, like they're really nice houses. It's like George Washington like lived like a few blocks away. It was like it's like a very historical area. But you also and like the houses are like they're creepy. It's like they're very creepy. They're kind of like little road houses. They're very pretty, but it's like like where the staircase is where like the carriage used to like go into the house.
So so like between the carriage house and the main house.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can feel it. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't care. I think if somebody just quiets himself enough, I think anybody can feel that awkward energy. Almost like, you know, when you walk into a room and you know the 2 people that were in the room when you got there were just arguing, but they shut up all of a sudden, or they were just talking about you and they got real quiet, that weird tension. It's like that. But
I think it's just like not quiet enough here for me to like pause long enough to like feel anything. I live in one of the loudest neighborhoods of New York. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, I really actually want to move to the woods one day. Like, I just want to move somewhere where it's actually quiet.
Come to the rainforest. It's beautiful.
The rainforest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't want to move to the suburbs because, like, I like the city and I like the forest, but I don't like the suburbs.
I was wondering, is your family part of the 1,500 families that were enslaved by the Cherokees? Is that like how you came to be your awesome self?
Who are you talking to?
Keek up here in the feed. She
Keek.
She is Native and Black, and she is like that's actually like a small. I mean, that's like a minority on top of a minority on top of a fucking minority. She's a woman. She, you know, like, fuck, man. I'll lift you up any day you need me to. I promise. I can get it. I pass for white all the time. I just talk nice.
Maybe you could like get tested and like see if you're Cherokee or something else.
Yeah, well, because it's important to know that, because right now there is a lawsuit going on right now for the 1,500 families that the Cherokee literally booted off of their land and ostracized them from, like, you are no longer one of us. And this just happened, like, I think back in the 70s or some shit, which is really weird because that's when they needed support the most. But, or no, I guess it started when they were dividing up reservation land, and a bunch of freed slaves had gone. I hate that term. And just like they knew they weren't getting nothing, so they just left. And the ones that stayed behind, hey Phoenix, they basically got like the shit end of the stick and got, put last in line because they were considered a lesser people. And it's just like, humanity's so fucking gross, dude.
I saw this on TV once, so like I am not, again, another thing I'm not an expert on. So disclaimer. But there was like some show where a lot of African Americans, they were like getting their DNA tests, and they gave them the opportunity to go to Africa. And actually it was a cool show. It was like a really good experience for them, because like for some of them it was like the first time they'd been on the African continent and stuff, and they got to go to the place that their lineage, the place that they were from, right, originally, like genetically.
Yes.
But they discovered that a lot of the people that thought they were Cherokee were actually mixed with white people. Like a lot of them were actually mixed with white people. Like that Native Americans are more likely to be mixed with white people. And a lot of the Black people that thought that they were Cherokee, it was like kind of shameful for like the slaves to have this like light-skinned child. Like they didn't want to, like they were disgusted by the fact that it was like the slave owner's child, or what, like.
Well, I would too. It would fuck with my head. It would fuck with my head.
So they like passed on, some of them, like these stories about how they were mixed with Cherokee, and like sometimes it was true that they were mixed with Cherokee, but sometimes it's not. And one of the guys was like so disappointed because he was African American, right? It turned out he was like literally like 10% African American and like 90% Irish or something. Like he had gone to like discover whether he had like Cherokee heritage or whatever, and it was like he was like super white. He didn't know at all. So anyway,
it's great. Yeah,
that's a sad story, but like, and like by the same token, you might think you're really white and you're not.
Right.
And they've done a lot of like the like trolling of like people that live on the border, especially in like extreme right wingers and stuff, because it's like super common to be like, and it turns out they're all Mexican. Like they're all mixed with Mexicans over there because like, they're on the border. It's like impossible to not be. But like they feel the need to like mark the separating line between them and like the people that live on the other side or whatever. Kiki says most Cherokee I know look white.
They do, don't they? They do, don't they? My tribe's been whitewashed too. Look at me.
Yeah.
I think it makes it easier for me to talk about, I think. And I come from, and like Keek, she comes from a very unique perspective on race and on human dignity. And I think that especially women like that need to be elevated more. They need to be heard more because they know an aspect of the shit show that nobody else really gets to know. I think that it's important that we lift those people up. And I think that it bothers me. It bothers me really bad. It's like a battle within myself because I think about my tribe and all that they're going to lose which means that my daughters are going to lose. And my daughters somehow look more native than me, and their dad is white. Like, what the fuck? I'm jealous of my own kids. Don't tell them that, please. But it's just like to see not only our identities slowly being washed away, because if you stick with, you can't date within your own tribe because you're related to them all, 3,000 people, you got blood ties between all of them.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you think, oh, he's cute. Oh, fuck, that's my cousin. It's not okay.
It's like dating in Iceland.
Yeah, right. What the fuck? How do they do it?
What about just like with another native tribe? Like, not the same one, but
Yeah, but the thing is, the stereotypes come from a certain amount of reality. Like, so all car salesmen are shysters, and most of them are. And it's because they have a reputation for it. White women are all Karens because they have a reputation for it. Natives have the perfect resting bitch face, and they will fucking rob your house if you turn around. And it's because they do. Oh, I have cousins who I won't let them in my house, dude. They're just, nope, you can stay on the porch. I'll hang out here with you. I love you, but you ain't coming in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a stereotype.
It is. It is.
I like in my area, most of the people that are Native American, I guess, are just like Mexican, and they have
they have okay. So the masculine like Mexican indigenous people, they have this added fucking like overly toxic at times masculine view or patriarchal view of where a woman belongs and how she should be treated, and it's way different than how she should treat the men. And it's just it's weird. I find it really fucking weird that
yeah, I don't know if that's like native culture or if it's like passed down from like the Spanish.
Oh, I honestly I wouldn't know. I know that
It's definitely
my tribe, the women in my tribe, they are loud and fearless, and they don't take no shit off of anybody. And if you fuck with one cousin, you fuck with all cousins. Like, you don't piss one of them off because the whole tribe will come after you. It's bad. It's bad. That's within my tribe. I only know within my tribe's behavior, my own tribe's behavior. I don't really like. I fucked with Taboo for a little while, but he's kind of a dick, and I'm not even gonna lie. He's a good dude. He's just, he's chauvinistic. He's chauvinistic in a very deep way. And I think maybe a lot of our native men are in my tribe too, but more in a I'm old and this is how I was raised, and so I'm set in my ways kind of bullshit, which it's total bullshit, because if my grandfather on my dad's side could go from being just fucking total bigot, dude, just total bigot, to not being a bigot, like asking people he asked me for my forgiveness, for fuck's sakes, and started treating all people with dignity and respect, and didn't talk bad about this race or this sex or fucking this age group or anything like that. If he could do that before he died, then I think that whole you can't teach an old dog new tricks thing, it's just a fucking cop out of laziness.
I I feel like people are getting better about that kind of stuff. Like, I think the government's getting worse, but I don't feel like. I think it's true that like Facebook is like kind of highlighting the negative stuff that people say for clicks. Because like I have a hard time like believing that people are more racist than they were like 50 years ago. Like it.
Oh no! It's just the fact that people are instead of keeping it in the closet and like between their own, they are saying it out loud and in public and getting offended by like how can like I don't take offense when people bring up the white atrocities that have happened in this country, and I don't, because I didn't do those things. Now, if you're going to talk down to me about it, and if you're going to talk at me like I did it, then we might have a problem. But no, I get that everybody's perception and perspective is all from a different point with a different pair of fucking glasses. Nobody's view from their front porch is the fucking same. What I can see from my front porch is definitely not what you can see from yours. And so that is all we know. And so when people grow up, and like when I was a kid, you know, in town, I was treated one way, and out the hump and out Quinault, I was treated another way. But it was basically the same. I felt miserable in both places because I wasn't white enough to hang with the kids in town, and I wasn't native enough to hang with the kids out on the res. And so it was like, well, I'll go play with my horse. Bye. You know, thankful I had fucking animals. Really am.
Yeah.
Really, really fucking.
It's hard to be mixed.
It is. It's. People can just be assholes. I don't think people are nearly as bad about it today as they were even just 20 years ago. But the way that people like pretend like it's not happening around them, or they deny that they are racist right after they say something racist, is fucking appalling. Really frustrating. It's like, really, so you don't believe in reparations. You think that nobody deserves reparations. The government, that's a debt owed by the government that was never fucking paid. And when you owe a debt, you know, depending on what state you're in, and you die, your fucking family members or your estate has to fucking cover that fucking debt. So that debt never goes away. It stays around until it gets fucking paid. And you're okay with that, but then you don't think it's okay that, you know, the descendants of slavery are paid what they're fucking owed plus interest. Like, what the flying fuck? How does that make any sense? And then if you think about, you know, the redlining and shit like that, there should be reparations for that too, I think.
I agree. Like, and you know, like, I'm not saying this to excuse it or anything. I'm just saying it to explain it because, like, I am from a white family, you know? Like, because I grew up in New York, and I, like, I live in the Bronx. I'm, like, one of the whitest people that, like, in my surrounding area. So, like...
But do you feel more comfortable in that area? Because I don't feel comfortable in a super white area. I don't. I feel fine. It makes me nervous in a super white area.
I feel fine in a white area. I also feel fine here. Because there are white people in my area. It's not like it's completely uncommon. There are like places I've been to where it's not a white area, but it's also like extremely rare to see a white person. That's not here. So like then I do feel uncomfortable. Like I have been to parts of the world where it's like I'm the white person, and then it's like very uncomfortable. But here it's not like that. It's just like I'm one of a few white people, you know? But like my family, they're white, and they grew up in an area, not in the United States, but like where there's a lot of other white people, like more, you know? And they're actually extremely left-wing. Like, they're fine with reparations. They're fine with this. They're fine with that. But, like, they grew up in a culture where it was, like, really common to say a lot of racist, like, un-PC shit. and they didn't, it's not like the way I grew up, where it's like I grew up around a lot of people that are not white, and if I said something like that, they would punch me, and like, you know, it would be over really fast. So like I grew up with like an understanding that like there's just things you don't say if you don't want to like get socked. And like, as a matter of fact, I almost got jumped once in school just for being white. Like I was really a minority, you know?
Yeah. No, racism works in any direction. I don't care who it's pointed at and who it's coming from. I am not, and me and Afeni will argue this until we're both fucking blue in the face. It does not matter. Yeah.
So, but anyway, like that wasn't like nearly as bad as like the other stuff that people experience. Like, I'm just saying it because it's like,
no,
you know, and like I think like what happened was like some kid from the neighborhood was like, no, I know her or whatever, and they didn't end up beating me up. I just kind of like skithered away. So like I've been very lucky in my life. Like I don't have that many complaints. I've had like a few close calls, but like I don't know. Like I'm just very lucky. I hope, like, knock on wood, you know. Like, yeah, like I do think, like, just based on my family, that like segregation is a big part of it, because like especially housing segregation, because it's like very easy to like say some fucked up shit. Like when you're not around these people, and like they're not your classmates, or like they live very far away, so like people have, like, you see someone that's like super like blatantly racist, and you don't understand how they can say something like that. It's very simple. Like they grew up in a area where they didn't have like that much cultural exposure, or they're assholes. They might just be assholes, but like more of the time, and I feel like, you know, more of the time I do feel like it's like a lack of exposure, and there's a lot of lack of exposure because like a lot of neighborhoods in the US are like super white and very segregated still. So like a lot of people just like, you know, like they don't monitor what comes out of their mouth, and they haven't had that experience where it's like they say something fucked up and like they have to pay a cost. So a social cost, you know, too, like.
Well, and the thing is when people do say things that are fucked up, and I do all the time, and I don't even realize that I've said something fucked up or offensive. And sometimes I will argue and be like, no, you took offense, but I didn't mean offense. So that's on you. But then other times I'm like, you know what, you're right. What I said was super fucked up, and I shouldn't have said that. You know, I'm good with eating my crow. I realize the racism in that fucking term right there. But I'm good with eating my crow. I'll eat it in front of everybody. I don't give a shit. I think everybody in here has seen me eat crow more than once.
Yeah, I remember I got called out for saying something fucked up like a few years ago, and I don't even remember what it was, which is probably not a good thing. Like I don't remember. Normally I feel like I just say fucked up things. It's not necessarily racism related.
Yeah,
there's
a fucked up thing that has happened, and you have to discuss it and call it out. And I know how awkward that can be. I fucking do it all the time. We ask some of these guys, holy crap, we've had some fucking shit shows.
Like for example, the last episode you did, like the woman was like using super racist words. I don't feel like she was actually being racist. I feel like she was just kind of like talking the way, you know, like the way people there talk, which is really fucked up, but she didn't invent that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but she was saying it to be hurtful and be negative and stuff towards a certain group. And I had to boot her. And I will admit this now, and I feel bad for this, but I didn't want to. I was happy and I was drunk, and I didn't want her to fucking keep taking that away from me. But I did see her fucking come up to back on panel, but I was not going to let her come up. Because if she was, I was going to be a bitch, you guys. I was going to be a fucking bitch, and I didn't want to be. She was hurt. She was scared. She was, you know, freaking the fuck out.
You know, like, actually, this happened to me recently in, like, one of the other episodes, which I won't name. Like, someone was saying something racist to, like, one of the other people in it, whatever. And I don't think it was, like, intended to be super whatever, right? But then what happens? Like, you have, like, some, like, unpopular lefty channel whatever, like you're focusing on like police brutality, like, so I'm not, but like you are, whatever. I'm focusing on other stuff, but whatever like pops into my mind that day.
Yeah.
And then some shit lib comes on your channel and they're like, oh, you had this racist person on your show, you had this like, so then they shit on you, like by association, because that's like the strategy they use, like they'll be like, oh,
it's divide and conquer. Conquer. And that's what they want to do. They want to shut you up. They want to shut that other person up. And do I think that other person is racist? I don't know. I don't know him on a personal level. Do I like that other person? Not so much. But that's my personal opinion. I think you need to read more than just the headlines. That's how I
like I feel like that's where the whole like PC thing has like gone into extreme censorship. Like it's not just about what you say. They'll troll you by association.
Yeah, they were doing that. They were doing that to Nick too, and it was just like, what the fuck,
Yeah. And they do it a lot. Anytime someone says something like minorly racist is like the worst. For some reason, with like
even if it is racist, but it's more of they're talking about that subject, and so they have to bring it up, and they're gonna do it in the most plain and simple way they can, so that everybody understands what they're saying. It's going to come off and rub people the wrong fucking way. I think that, if I hurt someone's feelings, I'll apologize, and I don't think it's hard to do that. I think people who refuse to apologize when they say something and someone does take offense to it, then they're an asshole. You hurt someone's feelings. You made them feel bad about being who they are. That's shitty. Say you're sorry. It's not that fucking hard. It's not. It's really not. Oh my God, my legs are swollen.
They don't want to apologize to random people on the internets.
See, and I don't mind apologizing to random people on the internet. I really don't. I apologized to somebody today because she was saying something about she doesn't know how to drive and she'll never learn to drive. And I'm like, come spend 1 week with me. I'll have you driving a dump truck in a week, okay? You'll be able to drive a 5 on the floor. You'll be able to drive a 3 on the tree. You'll be able to drive a 10-4 fucking dump truck. You're golden. And she was just like, hell no. I am from New York City and we don't drive here.
I learned how to drive after I was 30 years old.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
So are you a bad driver?
Terrible. I'm a terrible driver. I'm a very bad driver.
Oh,
my husband makes fun of me a lot for it, but it's like I just don't have all of the years of knowledge in driving. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do?
It's like, I learned how to drive when I was 7 years old. I was driving a hay truck. And my daughters did too, I think. Well, my oldest did at 7. My youngest, she was so short that she didn't learn how to drive until she was like 10 or 11. But it was just kind of out of necessity. The smallest one who could not fucking pick up a bale of hay and throw it was the one who drove the truck. And we would walk behind it and throw the bales into the truck.
Oh, what do you do? Like step down on the pedals, like jump down and then jump back on the seat?
No. You put it in granny low. It's a 4-speed fucking granny gear. So you put it in first gear. And you get it going and you put the kid in the seat. And if they can't reach the pedals or whatever, or they can't see over the steering wheel, you just have them sit on their knees or stand up and they drive down to the end and they make the turn and they never have to touch the gas pedal or the brake. And when we're done, we jump in the truck and we hit the brake and fucking we're done. That's how we do it. I should have heard that one of these days. I really should. Just so that people know how that shit's done.
Yeah. I definitely need better skills, but like it's also kind of too late for me. I don't know. Like in terms of I'm getting better actually. It's just like I still make a lot of stupid mistakes.
Clinton, New Yorkers suck at driving. I don't know. I've never actually driven through New York. I landed there one time and it was for a layover, and that was a bad enough experience in itself.
Well, I can tell you the story because it's funny. I learned how to drive when I was like over 30 years old, right? And I actually learned because I I used to work in construction, like not in construction, like building. I just had like a desk job, but I had to go to the construction site like once or twice a week, and they asked me if I knew how to drive, and I was like, yes, because I wanted the job, right? So I was like, yes, I know how to drive. But in reality, like I knew how to drive. Like I knew how to drive. Like I had driven through a few blocks in the Bronx, like just like around, like just enough to pass the test. You know, like I did a turn. It was like I knew how to park really well, but like that was it. Like I had never been on the highway. I had only been like around a few blocks, right? So then like my first day on the job, they were like, okay, you have to go to the construction site. It's in Brooklyn. It was like all the way at the edge of Brooklyn, like because like it was like the Hurricane Sandy project. That's like the project I worked on, and I was like, oh, okay, so, but I was like really scared, so I asked my mother to come with me. I'm like, I'm 30 years old. It's very sad. Like it's not like I'm immature. I was mature in other ways. I was just like really immature with the whole driving thing. But like my mother is like, she's lived in New York for 30 years. Like she knew how to drive, but she's like even a worse driver than I am. It's like terrible. She's like terrible driver too. So we were like arguing with each other, and then like I got angry and I like turned and I like bumped into another car, right? And thankfully, it was like this super relaxed Jamaican dude who seemed like he had just like come back from his vacation in the Caribbean or something. He was like, "Oh, it's fine. Like you can just send me some money." So he let me just like call him later. He didn't call the cops or anything. So I was like still on time for work, like my first day. I asked my mother to get out of the car. She was like driving me crazy, and then like I'm
gonna die.
Yeah, I like, so I'm like, I'm gonna get to Brooklyn. How do I get to Brooklyn? I'd like never been on the highway. So I just like put Google Maps, you know, like on the loud voice, where it's like a robot parent that's like leading you the right way. Like you don't have to like look at the map, you just like listen to the instructions. And then I was just like, okay, I'll just follow Google Maps instruction. Thank God for Google Maps. Like because if that technology had not been around, and then I just kind of like went on the highway and I got there. And that day it was actually fine, but like I made so many stupid mistakes too, because like I was driving with rental cars, like that the company allowed me to, for God knows why, like they thought I was like a real driver. They like allowed me to rent a car. And, like, like I would like take the rental car to like Brooklyn or Staten Island, you know, like to the shore. I'd like park. Like one time I got like stuck in the sand and like the contractor had to get me out. And I'm like supposed to be like supervising the contractor. I was like supposed to be and like the contractor was like helping me like pulling me out of, and then like the rental car, I was like so stupid, so bad at driving, and also have like no understanding of cars. I like, there was like the cars, like the rental cars, they don't have like a key. It's like a button. And then like the key that you push out, it's like the emergency key. Have you seen those? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like the emergency key. I like stuck it in or something. And then like the car started, like the alarm started blaring. And then like the contractor had to like help me again.
Oh my God.
The whole thing was like really embarrassing. And then I just kind of like played dumb and like went along with it. It was just a disaster. Me like, and yeah, so I'm like still a really bad driver.
You should come in here and drive in sticks for like 2 weeks. Just go to go. You can come here.
I can drive now. I can drive like an automatic. You know.
You need to know how to drive a stick. If the end of the world happens and your only option is to hot wire that stick shift is down the street, you need to know how to drive a stick shift. My grandpa said so.
I'm kind of traumatized by the stick. But I didn't tell you this one, like because my family's from Argentina, and over there they love stick because they're like, I don't know, I don't care about stick, but they love stick, right? And the city that like my half brother lives in is like kind of like a hilly area, and he was like, "Oh, you can drive." And this car was so bad, by the way. Like the car that he had back then, it was like the trunk would open by itself, and you'd have to like run out and close it. It was like the trashiest car. But like, he was like, "Oh, it'll be fine." And he made the biggest mistake with a beginner. He was like, "Just like go up the hill. Like you can't go up the hill when you start driving stick." And then I started rolling backwards.
You brake it. Yeah, you use the e-brake, and then you let it.
Well, he was like, "You're supposed to go like this or something. Like, you're supposed to go like this or something." Yeah, anyway, I didn't get it, and we started rolling backwards down the hill. And then he was like screaming at me, and he was like, "Get out of the car!" And then he's like, "You're never getting into my car again." So I didn't do it. Like for like 5 more years, I didn't get into a car again.
That's awful.
I don't know, but like they definitely need to teach driving in public schools in New York. It's a big problem.
They don't.
It actually limits your job opportunities if you don't know how to drive, and then you have to find a job somewhere because a lot of the jobs are in the suburbs now. So you have to like drive out. Then what do you do?
That's weird. That's really weird. I don't know. My older friends from New York, like they literally would kick around the same 6 blocks their whole life, and they worked in the area that they lived in, and like never went anywhere. And to hear
there's people that here like that haven't been anywhere, like they just they're like, "I don't know how to drive. What do you want me to do?" Raziel, it's like,
how do you go out of town? Like when you fly into another town and you want to actually go and stay at this little resort town that's like down the way, but it's like 2 hours down the way. How do you get that 2 hours? Like, how do you get there? There ain't going to be a train in every fucking, like, how do you do that? You got to be able to drive so you can rent a fucking car and go where you need to go.
I agree. I mean, it's totally like it's really a useful life skill to know how to drive. On the other hand, I have seen people that are from the countryside or like the suburbs. They come to New York City and like they don't know how to take the bus or something. Because actually, like public transportation is a skill. You don't think about it as much because you're like, oh, obviously, all you have to do is get on the bus. But like some people are like I've seen people in like Philadelphia just because they don't know what to do.
They don't know how to ride the bus.
Yeah.
Anywhere even in the small little system that we have here, they can't get nowhere without fucking help. I've had to like 3 or 4 times help my oldest daughter fucking, this is where you're gonna go, this is the bus you're going to get on, make sure it has this number, the fucking little doohickey, and maybe ask the driver when you get on, are you going here because this is where I need to go, just to be safe, because you are my daughter.
Oh yeah, I used to do that commute. Raziel the Great, I took the train to Parkchester and then I take the Q something or other, I don't remember, to Queens. That sucks.
You have to get on and off fucking a bus, dude. Yeah.
And then you go through Trump Links golf course like every day. Sucks.
That's crazy.
The Q44, yeah.
Fucking public transportation is fucking really, really important, I think, especially in larger cities. Like where we're at, there's not a bus every 30 minutes. There's not even a bus every hour. It's like every 2 hours if you're lucky. And only on certain days of the week. Yeah. Because normal people don't have to work weekends apparently. I don't fucking know. Every normal person I know, fucking, they work weekends or they work nights or they, have a rotating shift or they work a 12-hour shift or fucking what the hell, man. Our public transportation system is fucked up here.
Yeah, I took the Q44 to Flushing all the time, like when Rona struck. And I think I definitely got Rona like either on the Q44 or like in Chinatown or from my Italian coworker. Because I got it like a month before everybody else got it. Like before the shutdown.
That's crazy. I'm glad that you're okay.
No, I'm actually fine because like, you know how the ventilators that they use on a lot of people, like apparently that's like the worst thing you can do to someone that has Rona because it's like bad for your lungs. I don't know, but when I got it, thought I had pneumonia. Like they didn't think I had Rona, so they just gave me these like antibiotics for pneumonia, and it worked pretty well. And then it just kind of went away. Like I recovered, and then the news came out that the ventilators were actually making things worse.
Wow, that's crazy. I know. You remember back, like, I don't know, like a year and a half before the whole coronavirus scare thing, you know, before it actually like, hit here, and it was like people were just talking about it fucking coming this way. There were people ending up in the hospital with these crazy fucking lung infections and dying because of the e-cigarettes. I'm
actually really scared of like the vapors and all of those things.
Yeah. I don't use them because they hurt my lungs. I won't. I'll smoke a cigarette. I will put my nail in my coffin properly. Thank you.
I don't smoke because I'm like borderline asthmatic, but I get tempted because like well, I like
so
weed,
enjoyable.
I just don't like smoking. Maybe I asked Warren.
I was like, things.
Give me the guide to edibles.
Dude, edibles fucked me up so bad. The first time I ever ate an edible, it was, and I should have fucking known better. So it was this big ass muffin, right? Well, nobody told me to cut it up into like quarters, and then maybe only take a couple bites off of that quarter of the muffin and give it a couple hours. So I ate the whole fucking muffin, all right? 24 hours later, I'm still high as fuck, and I gotta take my daughter and her friend to a riding lesson, a horseback riding lesson. And I get there, and I drove my car to the fucking stable. It was only like a quarter mile down the road. Don't fucking judge me, okay? I was young. I was stupid. I wouldn't do it today. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. But I looked at the instructor and I kept fucking laughing because she was doing this. She was playing this game with the horse. Okay, so what you do is you have the horse haltered and you got your lead rope on in the middle of the arena, and you play the yo-yo game with the horse. Well, every time the horse would back up away from her when she would ask it to, it would start farting just insanely, and I couldn't handle it. It was fucking funny, and I couldn't stop laughing, and so I had to go out to my car. Well, she gets the horses saddled up and lets the girls ride around the arena. She comes out and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." I'm still high from yesterday.
How do you ride? You can you know how to ride horses really well that you can do it even while high?
Oh fuck yeah.
Okay.
Lots while I was high. I used to go riding to get high so that Heidi and Aiden wouldn't find out I was smoking pot.
I tried to ride a horse this summer actually, and like I was like on a tour with like this so horses, they're like dogs. They like to walk with their friends. Right? Like so like this horse he liked to walk with his friend, but like his friend was another horse that was like being like the person on it was this like Brazilian cowgirl. She was like running so fast. She was like galloping, and like for me it was like my first time on a horse, and I was like dying. I was like
you should have known better. That's bullshit.
I was like, please slow down, because my horse was following her horse, but she knew how to ride a horse. I was like the city person on a horse, right? And
yeah,
I was dying, and like it was very painful because like it had like the horse had the one I had especially. He was like going after this other horse so fast, and he had like the way that horse galloped, because like they have different styles.
Yes.
But this one like to go like this, like up and down really, really fast, and I was in so much pain after that horse ride. I was like, that's enough for me. I've had the country experience and now it's over. Thank God.
Yeah. Even in my state now, I can still ride, but I prefer to ride a gaited horse just because I don't have a proper seat. I can still, using natural horsemanship, I can still keep my seat, but it's not a proper seat. And so it's easier for me to fall off. And since I don't really have control over my legs, like I could get hung up in the stirrups and get drugged or stomped to death. And that's scary.
Oh, that's really scary. Yeah, maybe not. We stay away from horse riding for now.
Oh no, I will, you know, when I can, and I do. But for the most part, I just watch my daughter. She actually qualified for state finals in junior rodeo this year, but because there was so many people there, she opted out of going and let the person who got the best time behind her go because of the coronavirus. Because she's okay. So my oldest daughter is more like me. My youngest daughter is more like not me. I mean, like, she's like me in a lot of ways, but politically, she's not. And when it comes to the coronavirus and the vaccine, she's not of the same mind as me. But she is 17 years old. She has 2 jobs. She goes to school, gets straight A's. She pays for her fucking horses, everything's. I'm not going to tell her, you have to get this vaccination against your fucking will. I will never make my children do something against their will, because then that means in their mind, when they're with some man, they can make them do something against their will and it's going to be okay. And I am not fucking okay with that. I'm like yelling at you guys like you told me, shame on me for not making her get it. No, none of you said that shit, but somebody said that shit to me yesterday and I'm taking it out on you.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom is super pro-vax. She like tried to get me to do the booster, but then actually she had like some heart issues and her doctor warned her. He was like, I don't think you should take the booster because it leads to like myocarditis or whatever in some people, and she's one of those people.
I've had myocarditis. I know exactly what that is. That is an infection in the sac around your heart and it will kill you.
Yeah. So so she's not going to take it, but like it literally, I think she was lucky because the doctor that she had was like, just don't do this. She's like super pro. Oh, Noli. Oh, your daughter's against the vax.
Yeah. My youngest is. My oldest is vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. Even though I gotta tell you, I got the Johnson & Johnson for my first one, and it fucked me up for months, you guys. For fucking months.
What were your side effects?
Like I just had a hard time taking a full breath. Like I just could never catch my fucking breath. It was really creepy. And every time I would breathe in, it felt like, you know when you've been outside and it's so fucking cold that you breathe in and it kind of burns your lungs? It's painful. Have you ever been outside when it's that cold?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like for months.
I kind of like resent it just because I had COVID. So it's like, why don't, I
don't think anybody should be forced to fucking put anything into their body they're not willing to fucking put in their body. I think that's bullshit. I think that people who are against the vaccine and for the vaccine need to sit down and listen to both sides and make a judgment call on what's best for them. And that is none of anybody else's fucking business. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I think I was like somewhat fine with it, like the first 2 shots, whatever. Like now that it's like Omicron is ridiculous. There was like 1 death in Africa, like, and they're shutting down schools because of 1 death. Like think about how many people die of car accidents or the police or like all of these other, I don't know. And then people will say like, oh, that's unrelated because diseases spread. It's like, well, bad behavior spreads too. Or
yep.
like, yeah.
And it's fucking ridiculous. I think that the mask thing, I think I'm a little more like, fuck you, put your fucking mask on if you're going to go out in public. It's not going to hurt you. I had one lady when I was in the airport at, where was I? I don't know. I fly so much now. I don't know where I was. I think I was in North Carolina, but I'm not sure. And she was in a wheelchair. She was next to me, and we were waiting for, our ride to the fucking fucking goddamn plane. And she was like bitching about the mask making it hard for her to breathe. And I'm just like, well, maybe it's your mask. Mine doesn't, I don't have a problem breathing. I'm sitting in a fucking wheelchair. It's not like I'm but just sitting here. I'm not pushing myself. You know, fucking fuck. Breathe. Take a breath. You're fine. You're fucking fine. Wear the mask. It'll protect you. It'll protect others. I firmly believe that, because if you look at the records of the Spanish flu or whatever the fuck it was back in 1901 or whatever the fuck. 1919? Morning, Callum. When the soldiers came home from World War I, it fucking exploded the fucking flu again, the pandemic again. And it wasn't until, you know, people were wearing their masks and shit again that it stopped getting, you know, passed around.
Yeah, you know, I feel like it's kind of case specific. Like, I kind of understand people that like live in rural areas. They're like, whatever, you know. But like, if you live in a crowded place, like in China, they've been wearing masks, like, you know, like in crowded areas since like SARS, like the first SARS or whatever, which was like over 10 years ago. So you know, it's not uncommon to like see people with masks in like public transportation regardless. Like, it's not just a COVID thing. Like, you can get like so many other diseases just from like being in very crowded areas and stuff. So I feel like it's not like really great to compare like, oh, like, yeah, I don't want to go out with my mask, but I live in a like house where like I step on my lawn and like I'm still like 10 yards away from the closest person, to like New York City or like Tokyo or like you know, like I don't know.
When doctors started using masks and washing their fucking hands during deliveries of the birth of children, the death rate of babies and mothers dropped dramatically, like 90%.
Oh yeah, because they used to deliver the babies without washing their hands. So disgusting.
Without washing their hands, without wearing any like what is called universal precautions. Now they call it PPE. Yeah, whatever the fuck. But it's universal precautions. When I was in nursing, that was one of the first things that they fucking taught you. Okay, if you're gonna go around somebody who is ill, or if you have been ill and you come into work, you must wear a fucking mask. Period. It's always been that way for fucking decades, and the doctors and nurses have never bitched about it, not fucking once. You know, I could care less if somebody's anti-masker or mask, but don't fucking jump someone's shit because they are wearing one or because they're not wearing one. Fucking, if they're not wearing one, stay away from them. If you're not wearing one, don't go touching fucking 50 fucking things in the store and then licking fucking the goddamn apples. You're a dick if you do shit like that. I'm sorry, you just are.
All right, I think we should finish up because I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I'm fucking. It's like, yeah, it's late as fuck for you, isn't it? It's only 10 here. Good night, everybody in the feed. I love you guys. I don't give a shit if you are fucking anti or pro or fucking whatever. I love you, and have a good night or have a good morning. Like, tell them, have a good morning.
Bye, Noli.
Bye. Oh, wrong.
Right. Where do I stop?
So just go down to leave studio. It's a little X right down on the bottom.